Oklahoma, who, if you wrote the story of college football and you were like, which one would a Hollywood writer want? We gave them all these teams and laid them out on the table. Which one would Steven Spielberg dive after? Right now, to me, it's Oklahoma. So we can talk about them. Penn State. Everybody in the Midwest is like, come on, get through this shit. Let's go. We're going to go after them. And then Clemson and Pitt. Let's start with Oklahoma. And I'm going to go down there with you, Clint. The Oklahoma Sooners, who we've been watching, rock and roll, catch a little turbulence, catch a little air, come back, run down the Longhorns, go up here, and their back is on the ground against Kansas. Still undefeated. They got a megawatt star, and they just barely escaped today. They had exact change to get through Lawrence. They had to turn their pockets inside out to get through Lawrence. What are we supposed to make of the Sooners?
Well, first of all, let me address this. That play that everybody's going on about, that should have been blown dead, man.
Should have.
The damn running back took 4 steps going backwards before he handed the ball forward to the quarterback.
Well, possibly.
I don't know. I mean, look, this may be my Arkansas blood talking, but I don't know if y'all saw that bull BS call last week against Auburn when literally the forward momentum stopped because the defensive lineman was dumping him backwards. Like, the only thing that went backwards was when the D-line was dumping him, and he fumbled, and they said forward progress stopped, no fumble. This cat took 4 steps backwards and hands the ball forward to the quarterback on 4th down, and he goes and gets a first down, and it's going to be the damn play of the week on SportsCenter.
But, Clint, was it a great play, though? Yes or no? Refs aside, was it a baller play?
Hey, and I'll go ahead and answer that for you, Clint. You better lift the eyebrows up off the nose because back in '92, when you were over there wheeling and dealing in Fayetteville, if you would have pulled up that play, oh my gosh, you wouldn't have had to buy a beer all night. That's one of the most heads up. That dude said, "Give me the ball."
Yes,
he said, "Give me the ball."
Preach.
Well, look. I picked up my eyebrows. I'm gonna get these. I'm gonna get them lit. I'm getting a plastic surgery chair.
You were waiting. You were wanting it. You were like, "Nah, man,
the dude's great. I hope he gets free drinks. Hell, he don't need no free drinks. He's got $1 million worth of NIL deals. Hell, I mean, look, it was a great play. It was a heads-up play. No question. It should be on SportsCenter. But ref, do your damn job. Kansas has got OU on the ropes, man.
Yeah,
that is clearly that play. That was clearly. Forward progress. That should be on the referee's teaching tape next year. That forward progress had stopped. I mean, 2 steps before it all happened.
But Clint, I'm gonna fast forward you. They're undefeated. They're undefeated. Should they still, if you're a Sooner fan, should you still be making reservations to the playoffs right now?
Hell no. You got work. You got work to do. You got a whole lot of work to do. And here's the deal: your biggest 3 games, and I know this is coach speak, but I'm looking at the schedule, so it's true. The biggest 3 games of OU season is ahead of them.
In front of, yeah.
That's right. Baylor. What did I say? I said ahead of them, didn't I?
Yeah.
Baylor.
I speak gibberish, I know, so I appreciate you cleaning that up.
No,
Baylor, Iowa State, and Oklahoma State. And I know Oklahoma State hit a little bump today, but those are the 3 best football teams. Correct me if I'm wrong. If anybody out there disagrees, those are the 3 best football teams on their schedule.
The conference.
They got a whole lot of work to do. So I'd pump those brakes and I'd pay that extra $100 in 3 weeks to make that hotel reservations instead of saving $100 and making them today. If it were me.
Hey, Hack, can they run the table? Can Oklahoma get through Clint's gauntlet? He did lay out a gauntlet for that conference.
He definitely did. Here's my thing, man. Like, if you've paid attention to college football, I mean, nobody's safe at any point in time. Nobody's safe.
Preach.
So, to me, I mean, it's just worked out this year. But to me, Oklahoma has consistently put themselves in the situation they were in today with teams that they traditionally have never done that with. You go back through this whole season, Tulane. The list goes on. They were getting blown out by Texas. If Texas had any bit of kill, finish, sick 'em in their blood, they'd have won that game.
Thank you.
So to me, Oklahoma just hasn't had that. They're undefeated. If they somehow squeak it out, I think it's going to be tough for them not to make it to the playoff. But I do completely agree with Clint. I think Iowa State showed something today. I think that train's finally starting to get back on the tracks and start moving in the right direction. Bryce's Baylor Bears down there always got something going. I think they're moving in the right direction as well. And I just don't think that they're going to have the luxury to do what they did today for the next few weeks and expect to be able to walk out of there with a win and be clean. So they got to clean things up. I think specifically on the defensive side of the ball. I think offensively they'll be all right, but on the defensive side of the ball, they need to clean some stuff up, and that's been the case the whole year.
Bryce Petty, does the fate of the Big 12 being represented in the playoffs rest in Norman, Oklahoma?
I mean, I think your knee-jerk reaction has to be yes, right? I mean, they're an undefeated team. You can say what you want, but this is actually, I mean, look, it's hard to go undefeated. And like Hack said, I mean, everybody can get got. I mean, that's the thing about it. So they are winning, and that's what I hate when I have to listen to Trevor talk about it. But that's what he keeps saying, and it's true. This league is about wins. It's about, can you finish the game? And they do what they need to do to finish. Now, these 3 games coming up, or at least the 3 that Clint had mentioned, are going to be really tough. They're going to have to stop beating themselves, which they inevitably do every week, but then they just get it going when they need to. So I think it does. I think to your question, I think it does run through Norman, as it should, with all this expectation, all the talent. Lincoln Riley, again, is a killer, not only on the field, but off the field and recruiting. He's got to figure out a way to put a defense on the field. I don't know the last time that Kansas has ever, in terms of just total yards, put up more yards than anybody. And they had 412 yards, and the Oklahoma Sooners had 398 yards.
Wow.
Man.
Big George, I'm looking at it though, fellas. Here's the deal, man. That OU Oklahoma State game is it looks like, now if everything holds true, that what the hell they call that game? What is that rivalry game?
Bedlam game.
Bedlam. There you go. I knew that old smart, that old sharp ass. I knew he'd have it.
Yes, sir.
That OU Oklahoma State game, boys, that thing's shaping up to be something serious. Because if Oklahoma State can upset OU at the end of the year, hey man, they're right in the thick of things, and they win the Big 12. That could be.
But to your point, this is what's going to be interesting, though. This is what's going to be interesting, though, because before they even get to that game, in 3 weeks, they go down to Waco. Okay, now Waco went up to Stillwater and got beat. Okay, if they come down to Waco and get beat, now you have 3 one-loss teams in the Big 12. Oklahoma still has to go up to Ames, and then they still have to play the Bedlam game. So there is a real play here that OU starts out this season, going through Norman, what we just talked about, and then it dies in Norman too. So it's going to be real interesting to see what happens the tail end of October and then the start of November before that Bedlam game even happens.
To me, if Oklahoma runs the table up until Bedlam and the Cowboys beat the Sooners, the whole southern part of Ohio is jumping up and down, because that means Cincinnati is now in. To me, 2 SEC teams.
Get off the bus,
jump out.
You said, well, no, 2 SEC teams, a Big 10 champ, and then there's a 4th seat. So a 1-loss Big 12 champ, I don't think is going to knock out an undefeated Cincinnati. Not with the body of work they've been putting forward.
Man, you crazier than the outhouse rat. You kidding me? Well, I mean,
break it down then.
The college football play. You watching the same committee that I'm watching?
Yeah.
Man, the Jokers. We talked about this, damn it, George. You had a couple weeks away from me now. We talked about this.
You
know them Jokers are going.
Spice on that steak is finally starting to burn the tongue on George. Listen to him talk about Cincinnati getting over a one loss.
Clint, man. Hey,
so Clint,
you let a one loss OU team Could that happen? Yeah, I guess it could happen. You let a one-loss OU team be sitting right there next to them and watch what that college football play. I hope I'm dead ass wrong. I hope I'm dead wrong. But watch that college football, watch that committee jump Cincinnati in
the committee. If somebody's in the committee and they say, Oklahoma, what's your best win? What's Oklahoma's best win this year? Running down Texas from behind?
No, it ain't happened yet.
I don't know about it right now. Yeah, they got 3 games left to put that on.
Cincinnati goes to Notre Dame, wins by 2+ touchdowns. They go to Wisconsin, got a strong win. They went up against another Indiana team.
Thank you.
But that Notre Dame team is still ticking. Notre Dame's only loss this year is to the Cincinnati Bearcats. Hey, but to put a point on this Oklahoma game, like I'm watching Kansas, and I was born in Wichita, Kansas, and I called my dad. And I was just like, Kansas nearly carjacked Oklahoma, but they couldn't drive stick. Like, you're up 10, and you couldn't even just come on home with that. That would have set that whole campus up. So this is a awkward timeout, but we got to call this timeout. We're gonna move from performing and having balls when you're out there to keeping them clean and manscaped. We're just gonna just jump to it. Dagan,
That's a great jump. There you go. ISO. Play one.
And Clint, Hack, and Bryce, be ready because I'm dishing on this. Support for today's episode of After Dark College Football Field of 12 comes from Manscaped, the world leader in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped has just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.10 Hackenberg. It's a sleek, well-designed, and precision-engineered trimmer, and I got to tell you, I was blown away by the performance. The way Manscaped engineered the ultimate growing and body trimmer is simple. They focused on intelligent functionality and providing the comfortable grooming experience. The Lawnmower 4.0 Hackenberg was developed with the trademark skin-safe technology, which includes a cutting-edge ceramic blade that reduces snags and nicks. Right, Bryce? You need to be confident in any tool you use on the old family jewels. Manscaped, as held up there by Clint, features the Lawnmower 4.0, also has a 4000K LED spotlight. So you see what the hell you're doing.
Yep.
An attachment that allows you to change the length of your trim and a wireless charger. Most importantly, you want to make sure you're not using the same trimmer on your nuts as your face. That's just nasty.
Can't do that.
So head on over to manscaped.com where you'll get 20% off, free shipping with the codes. I'm going to give you those codes right now. Field of 12 After Dark. Put in 20 dark, all caps, for your 20% off and free shipping. So Manscaped, handle your business. As a future user of Lawnmower 4.10, trust me, I will come back and tell you that my balls feel great. Thank you.